Well, the Detroit Pistons, they have now lost what 29 games. Let's look at their official record. Let's be respectful and say it how it is, ladies and gentlemen. Say it how it is, and that's the problem. This is not like how it's normally been. It's not been a. It's a weird season. I mean, people are comparing the Detroit Pistons to the Charlotte Bobcats. They don't deserve that. They do not deserve that. They are now 2-29. All right, they are 2-29. The Pistons blew a lead against the Celtics. They lost 28 straight to tie the longest streak in NBA history. They fell. They had a 19-point lead in the half. Then Kristaps Porzingis and everybody just turned it around. Now, whose fault is this? I know, first off, I've joked around and said that, Monty Williams is pulling a Jimbo Fisher. And that he was just looking for that buyout. That they had to offer this guy a contract 3 times. And on the 3rd time, they had to offer him the biggest contract in NBA history just for him to sign. And still, he would not sign until they gave him the biggest deal in the world. Now, we're here a few months later. And guess what? This team is awful. This team is awful. And the thing is one might argue that this mess is maybe because of Tom Gores and Troy Weaver. It's not because of Mr. Monty Williams. He just handles the roster. And one could say that they were the worst team in the league. They should have gotten Victor Wembanyama. The problem is that Monty Williams went to Phoenix and he turned a rebuilding team into a playoff team. But the thing is this team isn't suited for the Pistons youth movement. The Pistons are a team that, it's like I said earlier, people are comparing them to the Charlotte Bobcats from 2011. And I think it's just poor roster construction. So when James Jones brought Monty Williams over about Monty Williams led. So the Suns hadn't gone a decade without making the playoffs when Monty Williams led them to the NBA Finals in 2011. And he was just 1 year removed from winning the Coach of the Year award. And Monty Williams' presence was a point of attraction for people to come to Phoenix. And one of the things was he was very well connected with Devin Booker. And the only players he appeared to have issues with was Jay Crowder and DeAndre Ayton, who weren't even a part of the bigger picture. Williams became the fall guy in Phoenix. But again, this is a guy that he literally had led this team to the best success they have had in decades. Phoenix. Now, when you come over here, you look at the fact that we're hearing the frustration in Phoenix and that Booker's recent on the court moment with Chemsy Metu is that there's some problems over there. However, Mr. Monty Williams has a 44-year-old wife and 5 kids. His wife has cancer. And he wasn't trying to come coach. They had to convince him to leave his wife with cancer to come and coach a team that doesn't seem like he wanted. This roster was full of youngsters. Jaden Ivey, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Asar Thompson as the building blocks. And Monty Williams, who he had came out and publicly said, I'm taking the year off. His agent had said, Monty's taking the year off. Was lured back into coaching. And right now, I think no one needs to feel bad for Monty Williams as he's on a 6-year deal that he'll get paid by Jimbo Fisher. But the situations that he's been put in, I feel like part of this is Monty Williams' fault, but we can't give all of it to Monty. But he isn't making the best of a bad situation, but he was put in a bad situation where he wasn't put in a situation to thrive. Like, the situation he walked into Phoenix, Devin Booker was already an all-star. DeAndre Ayton was like a borderline all-star at the time. There was pieces there. He came into, a hodgepodge mess.